Hello everyone, today I will be sharing the visual communication and culture of Australia with you. Let's begin by taking a look into prominent symbols of Australia. The Southern Cross is one of the most visible constellations in the Southern Hemisphere and is easily located from almost anywhere in Australia because of its distinctive four bright stars positioned to depict the extremities of a Latin cross. The Southern Cross is not only used on the Australian flag, but is commonly used as a symbolic tattoo by Skippies, Australians of British descent. The Australian flag is composed of two symbols, including the Southern Cross and the Union Jack, also known as the Union flag, which is located in the upper left corner, signifying Australia's historical links with Britain. The design of the Australian flag was chosen in 1901 after an Australia-wide competition. Incorporating the Southern Cross into the final design represented the four moral virtues of justice, prudence, temperance, and fortitude, which are principles that Australians should live up to. What are Australians like? In the workplace and among friends, Australians generally call each other by their first names. When meeting someone for the first time, it is usual to shake the person's right hand with your right hand. People who do not know each other generally do not kiss or hug when meeting. Australians show respect by looking people in the eye, however, they don't stand as close or have as much physical contact, such as hugs and kisses, as other cultures. You may find that your Australian friends have difficulty pronouncing your name at first. Be patient and prepared that you may need to repeat your name or say it slowly in the beginning. As friendships develop, you may find that your friends give you a nickname, which is very common in Australia and is a form of endearment. Language. Australians often use humor and are considered to be quite sarcastic. The Australian sense of irony may be difficult for you to grasp at first, but you'll get used to it. The Australian accent and use of slang may also be confusing. But if there is ever anything you don't understand, just ask. Let's take a look at some Australian slang. Australian sporting culture. Australians love their sports and most Aussies watch the finals of major sporting events, even if they don't normally have an interest in the sport. Popular events in Australia include the State of Origin and Melbourne Cup. Dot painting. Aboriginal art is part of the most oldest continuous living cultures in world history, with Australian Aborigines having settled on the Australian continent somewhere between 60,000 and 80,000 years ago. Aboriginal art is based on storytelling, using symbols as an alternate method of writing down stories of cultural importance, as well as transmitting knowledge on matters of survival and land management. Dot painting is specific to the central and western desert. Colors used for Aboriginal art was originally sourced from local materials, using iron clay pigments to produce red, yellow, and white and black from charcoal. Choice of color continues to be an identifier of style for some communities. Western desert communities opt for strong primary colors. Aboriginal art has found a way to be represented in both modern, contemporary art collections as well as ethnographic collections. This has been a part of a major success in communicating with new audiences. Here's a look at some Aboriginal art symbols commonly used in dot painting. Advertising. When it comes to advertising, American consumers significantly differ from Australians when it comes to both high and low involvement products. This information suggests the generalizability of consumer involvement in the decision-making process cross-culturally. Native Australian and owner of the Lucky Bee in New York City shared an interesting perspective on the comparison between American and Australian advertising efforts. American advertising efforts were portrayed as the majority of United States businesses targeting their audiences with a catchy phone number or a jingle, while Australians strictly focus on the product being offered without any jingle. According to the Australian Advertising Standards Bureau, the ASB, the most complained about ads in 2014 involved TV ads featuring married men singing, "I am looking for someone other than my wife," a TV ad featuring a Da Vinci character painting the Last Supper, and even a TV ad featuring a man picking his nose. Etiquette. When it comes to etiquette in Australia, a predominant image among Australians is that they are very casual, easygoing, and familiar. Attempts at appearing superior to others in terms of dress, manners, knowledge, and the work ethic are discouraged. There is an easy friendliness in public spaces. Personal privacy is respected and staring is always discouraged, although eye contact is not avoided. When a line is forming, new arrivals must go to the end. Service attendants consider themselves equal to their guests and usually are not subservient. Australians also resist to being served. Australian secular celebrations. These include Anzac Day on the 25th of April. This is a public holiday that commemorates the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps landing at Gallipoli in Turkey in 1950. However, the event now encompasses participants in all wars which Australia has been involved. Australia Day is celebrated on January 26 to commemorate British settlement, and many capital cities host a fireworks event. Boxing Day occurs on December 26th. The Boxing Day Cricket Test Match is an annual event watched on television by many residents. Labor Day is a public holiday to commemorate improved working conditions and the implementation of the 8-hour workday. It is celebrated at different times of the year and in different states. A significant celebration occurs on Melbourne Cup Day, an annual horse racing event in Melbourne. Many people attending the race dress formally, and employees and workplaces gather to watch the event on television. And let's not forget the Australian kangaroo, an icon and part of the heritage of the national emblem of Australia. Commonly known as roos, these marsupials are indigenous to Australia. From their significant importance to the Aboriginal people to the most controversial image as a boxing kangaroo, travel anywhere through the Australian outback and you will find evidence of the kangaroo. Kangaroos roam across parkland and frequently can be seen on a majority of golf courses. The kangaroo's unique movements when playing games and mating confrontations has given the illusion that the animals are actually boxing. This image has emerged as the epitome of the fighting spirit of the Australian digger and has been heralded as the national sporting emblem of the country. I hope that you have all enjoyed learning about the visual communication and cultural aspects of Australia. Thank you.